Hello everyone, welcome back to Evil Genius, Series 2, Series 2.1 I should say. And you can see now, basically, we've rebuilt this room here, the control room. Get rid of the freezer, because now we've built the freezer section down here with it, serious capacity for the dead bodies. And here is our other room for the... what's the word I'm looking for? For the troops, essentially, the lockers and all that kind of stuff. And as a result of that, what we've now done is we've built the Uber trap in place here, ready to go. Now, what that means then is that we now need to move this down to here. We're going to put it here. We don't put it at the... Now, if for whatever reason you have one of these, you get rid of the door and you put that there, it means that enemy agents can tunnel in, pop out in here, cause all sorts of havoc and all that kind of stuff, and steal your money without you'd hardly even notice it, and it's just a nightmare scenario. So as long as you provide space around it, I mean, obviously we might need to move it if for whatever reason they end up having so much gold that it starts getting in the way, then we have an option. But then if that's the case, because there's so much gold in here, then no agents will be able to get in anyway. So it's kind of a sort of self-defeating thing. But anyway, we'll see. Numbers-wise, 99 out of 99. Capacity of 191 minions. And we are stealing nearly 20,000 every single minute. That's why our bank account now, after previous episodes where we were struggling for money, our bank account now looks significantly better. Now, the only drawback is that we will not be able to delete this room until that is gone. That's the annoying thing. So, and that won't be in place until this is in place. There we go. So, granted, they'll have to run a lot more distance in order to get the money. There we go. It's gone. And we now destroy the room. Now, the advantage of destroying that room is it means that immediately all the gold will move to this new location. So there you go. And also another thing to bear in mind, boys and girls, when it's a full stack of gold, every time you see a full height stack of gold, that is $400,000 in your bank. So for every stack is essentially 400,000. Now, the advantage of that means we can now destroy this corridor. Now, the reason we're doing that is because we want only exits, or only the ability to get into, or what they think is a normal entrance. It's not going to be disguised or anything. They think, oh, that's an interesting exit entrance into a base. Let's go in there. And then they go straight into the Uber trap, and then they're trapped in there. Whereas this will be what will eventually be a disguised entrance actually into the base itself, at which point they will then have to run the gamut of loads of guards in order to actually get into anything kind of important. We've got the control area here to put them in jail if we need to, until they actually get into the important areas of the base in here. The likes of the power and this place. So, let's get these guys fully manned. Now, obviously, that will increase the power usage. Another thing you can do for certain things, if you're low on power and you're struggling, is you can turn off the power of certain rooms that have got one of those control units, the time clock, and it helps save you power at a time when a room is not really needed. So, like, for example, my super agent containment room, powered off, locked door. So we don't need to worry about it for the time being. Now, there she is. There's our girl. So, let's see. Because, now, the thing is, we... Oh, bugger. I just realised that needs a fourth one there. Because then there's going to be 4 there, 4... Yeah, okay. Well, we'll put a fourth one in, what the hell. Um, right, okay, so put that one there. There we go. Okay. Not ideal, but, you know, whatever. As long as it works, that's all I really worry about. It's just I can't go any further here because then it will hit that limit there where they'll smack into that and end up dying. I don't want them to die. I want them to continue to run around and keep setting everything off. The reason I haven't built one there is because that's where a gas unit would go. I don't want it to get in the way of that. So that's why we've done it the way we've done it there. Now, let's just send her in there for the time being. She'll be secure. So, 288,000. I'm wondering if I should just wait until I get like 1 million. We're still capturing a load of money. Let's just put a couple in there. Put 4 in there. 5 are there. Put 1 in there. 2 in there. 1. 5 already there. 5 are there. Oh, we've only got 2 in there. So we are reducing the numbers of troops available again. But it will help us build up the money quicker. So that's where we're at the moment. Power is good, as you can see. The number of people we have is good. We have the max number of minions available to us, and a lot of minions are out there, at least 5 for every area, stealing money, which is getting us 19,000 and probably get us over 20,000 every 60 seconds. So that means that it won't take us long to get to 1 million. And I think once we hit 1 million, then I will basically capture the maid and then start doing evil things to her, because that's what we do. Now, obviously, we've got a big blank space up here that we can use later. I have in other designs had the gold room here, and you can build it right out and all the rest of it and stuff like that, but I found it probably better to have the gold room down here, not so close to the entrance. Means they have to go farther in order to get the gold briefcase, but you know, at least then they're moving into a more secure area with respect to the money that's being stolen. So essentially, if they want to get to the money, they've got to get right into the base in order to do it, in order to put the briefcase onto the strong room rack, like so. So we don't have the evil genius lair area yet, the inner sanctum, so we're just keeping her in there while she's in a locked room. So she's secure there, and we should be fine. Everything is okay there. What else do we have the ability to build? We're not going to bother building anything of the hotel. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, sort of put a hotel hub here. But to be honest, I'd much rather kill them for being on my island. It's much funnier. And not only that, tourists, even though they've got low hit points, can be helpful if you get them into the Uber trap, because they panic and they don't tend to care about these things. So they'll just keep running around and setting them off, setting them off, setting them off. Whereas the agents seem a little bit smarter. So they'll come in, they'll roll over that to avoid it and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the tourists will just blindly panic as soon as they find out they're locked in, run around all over the place and set everything off, which is kind of what you want, and it helps generate money. So that's why I kind of don't worry about the hotel as far as the tourists are concerned. Plus, as far as I'm concerned, it's my island. They shouldn't bloody well be on it. So, you know, if they end up in an Uber trap or they end up dead, I'm sorry. You know, contact your app to travel agent and make a complaint. Obviously, the family would have to. The dead tourist wouldn't be able to. But, you know, you shouldn't be coming to my island. This is my island where I'm doing evil. And you come here and you snuff it and then seem upset about it. It's like, well, what the bloody hell do you expect? You came to my island and then died. Yeah, okay, whatever. I can't explain it either. Now, we do have the ability, I think, to increase. Yes, we do. So we could put in double layers of additional freezeriness, freezer capacity, which we will need once we start murdering people a lot. Now, I'll leave that like that for the moment because I don't want to build it yet. But I want, because obviously the training area is going to be here and the lab is going to be here. And I want to be able to at least still build that, but I'll use it as a guide for when I'm building the lab and the training area. So at least then it gives me options for building out later, so to speak. Now the only drawback with that is, let's put one there, and then I'd have to leave a space because otherwise, that's a door you're full. It would cause a problem because it would be blocked up against here, and then that would be an area for agents to get in. So there we go, and the final one in there. So none of that will be purchased. It will have purchase orders on the books, but it won't actually be purchased until I uncheck that room, should we require additional freezer storage. So that's ready to go, should we need it later on. £410,000. Lovely stuff. Money is rolling in, as they say. And there is a maid around here somewhere that we will have to get the symbols out and smash them on her head. There we go. There's our girl. We'll have to interrogate her at some point. You can see we can weaken the character. We can capture her. We can remove any tags, ignore her. Or you can actually kill her. So normally you can do right click and then select one of those options. If for whatever reason you've got multiple of the same, like you have with soldiers and agents, you can hold down control when you do it, and it will select all the agents in that party, mark them for whatever you choose. So if you want to kill them all, you can right click on it, select kill, hold down the control key while you're doing it, and it will mark all those agents to be killed by your forces or whatever assets like turrets and stuff that you have in place. So it's all quiet on the Western Front right now. Everything is built. Everything is spangly. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's fine. They won't smack into that. And all that's set up. So we set this to level 3. Level 3. Now the reason for that is because, one, a level 3 door will interest them, but also it means that we will get none of our people through that door. So they won't get caught in the Uber trap themselves. So let's start wiring things up. And because we've set it linked to this jet engine, this blower, this is why we're linking it all to that unit, because it's linked to all the other units. So by setting off any of these, it will set off that one, and then by using the linking, it will set off all the others to then blow them round the Uber trap. Now, one thing that is nice to have is sort of pressure pads or sensors, depending on how you want to do it, at the entrance. Now, what that means, any enemy agents that come sniffing around looking for things of interest will set off the Uber trap, which will then help generate more money. So, you know, these are things to consider. And there you have it. So, that's looking okay. And so they'll walk in here, and I haven't put it right there because I want to put a camera sort of pointing out that way. Because you will have the ability to have cameras outside as well. So I want a camera pointing out that way and a camera pointing in this way. So if they run out, they get caught on camera straight away. And I'll have a camera there, and maybe a camera there as well. So you've got to be careful about where you put those pads because they'll get in the way otherwise of things like cameras, which is why there isn't one there. But there could be one there, but we can put a camera in here. So a camera in there, and then the camera in there. So we're at nearly at $500,000, so it's all good. Let's see. Screw it, let's build it. Might as well give us the extra capacity. There's only 2 squares there, there's no point building there. And we can build the evil genius's lair area, the inner sanctum in here. Should be fine. The food will be built down here. All the troops are out doing things. And we are stealing $22,750 every 60 seconds. Ka-ching. I mean, technically speaking, you could make it more by just putting in more people, especially in those areas that have the most money. But, you know, we'll see. But let's see what else.
Henchmen are the most powerful weapons in your arsenal. In addition to their standard attacks, all henchmen have 3 special abilities. They all start with the Gather Minions ability, which rallies nearby minions round them for a short time period. Their 2 unique abilities can be unlocked by the accumulation of experience points.
There you go, an experience point by killing people. Now, obviously, in this mod, he actually has an AK, or an AKM, and his skills are slightly different as well. So he doesn't have the headshot skill that he had on the original game, but, you know, it doesn't matter. Let's see, because... See, there you go, 400,000. We know we got that because there's an entire stack, a full-size stack of gold there. Uber traps are essentially money-making machines. They are just insanely good for generating loads of money, because what happens is that every time somebody goes through one trap, like the blower, you get money for it. And so if you go through a second, you get more money for that, and a third, more money for that, and a fourth, more money for that. And because they're in a circle, well, because they'll be going round in circles, essentially, it'll be more money, more money, more money, more money. And the money just keeps rolling in. So that's why the Uber trap is such a great invention. More power to the man, the devious mind who created that. But obviously Uber traps come in all sorts of different formations. This is the one that I've used many times. There are other Uber traps that you can use. I mean, you can check it out on wikis for additional Uber traps. I mean, they sort of lock down so that the blowers are sort of out of the way, so you just carry on round and round and round. So yeah, I mean it's a great way of essentially making sure that money is not a problem for you in a playthrough of Evil Genius. Now, so there we go. They'll be getting the explosives to blow that area out. Kablooey. There you go. Here come the explosives. Our fellow's going to go in and place them down. Now, normally a room needs 2 explosives. The big rooms need 2. Oh, this guy, here we go. Runs to a safe location. And you can see, because it's dotted, it means they're going to need another explosive to actually be able to take out the rock in that area. Now, you can see our fellow here goes in here, grabs a briefcase, runs off to buy more explosive. And there you go, constructing our base. And every single one of them, every single minion has a name. Okay? Norman DeLuca. Fine fellow. Off he goes. Doing my bidding. Good lad. So, only one guard, obviously. Let's see. Another guy going in with money that's been laundered. Now that's the money that's that I've stolen. Gets brought in briefcases and then stuck into the gold storage area, which is this area here. And then you'll see as it gets dropped off. There we go. Goes up even more. So, all very spangly. Anything going on here? Yep, there's plenty going on, but there's no men available to do it. So, yeah, not really much going on. I mean, not exactly what you call the most riveting of episodes, but it's the kind of the build-up that will help save time later on. Now, you can see there, that's the area of effect that our evil genius does. So, basically, the area of effect affects their attention, which is the pink, and then their loyalty, which is the blue. So, she's a good person to have in certain areas like here, because it keeps them loyal, and it keeps their attention focused on what they're doing. But it also means that, you know, if for whatever reason this area gets attacked, then she's in danger as well, stuff like that. So,
the strong room is effectively a big safe.
Yes, thank you. So these are the things to bear in mind. Now, obviously, other things that have area of effect will be loot items, especially Uber loot, and also body bags. Now, body bags have negative effects. So if you have loads of body bags around here, the minions will walk through them, loads of body bags. They have negative effects. They'll end up very disloyal, very stupid, and will just sit there scratching their head, not know what to do. So that's why you put the body bags into the freezer. Because essentially the freezer stops the area of effect of body bags. And so therefore protects your minions by keeping them in one place. And because the area of effect is stopped when they're in the freezer, it means they can be brought into the freezer and they won't be affected by the transition by the minions in and out the freezer. So it's a thing to bear in mind with respect to where you place your freezers, why you need a freezer, and all that. 644,000. Lovely jubbly. So, let's see. All built. All done. In the process of being completed by the few people that are available to us. Because most of them are stealing shit. because that's what I want them to do. Now, bear in mind, these numbers will go down as soon as we capture the maid, interrogator, and get the valet. Agents will then start appearing on here and killing my minions. So eventually that amount of number will then start reducing. But hopefully then the Uber trap will have kicked into gear and will be in a stronger position to help provide us with some monetary funds. So essentially this thing will be our money maker. So let's see. More money continued to be brought in. Let's see. Might as well turn that off. No point having it on. Nobody's going to sit in it. Just a waste of time. Complete waste of time. Now, let's see. Because... So there's the reading table. Now, there's not a lot of reading being done. That's because most of the minions are working, building stuff and bringing in additional resources and all the kind of stuff that we want them to do. Okay. I'm just wondering something. No. Okay. Let's see how we're getting on there. So, the advantage of having these doors in front is that if we bring people in and we want like the super agents to be dropped in here, because what will happen is that your minions will bring them in and put them in the first prison cell they come across, which will be this one. But we'll want to lock them out like that, so that they can't be brought in and they'll be taken out of here, through here, and straight into the super agent containment room. And then, obviously, along with the high number of forces that we're going to have in that room, along with the sort of the meandering back and forth, and if this mod allows us to put guns in there, great, then essentially they'll be incapacitated as soon as they jump out of there. Now, obviously, what it will do is the pistols, the gun turrets, actually, they can't kill the super agents. They'll just hit their green. Whoops, missed him. It'll hit their green, their strength. So basically, it incapacitates them, knocks all their strength out, and they fall over. So that's the advantage of that one. Okay, well. Oh, where's he going? Picking up my cash, thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's episode. I hope you've enjoyed with my random ramblings. Yes, my random oh Jesus Christ, random ramblings. I hope you've enjoyed anyway. But what I might do is I might let it run until 1 million before I start the next episode, just so you guys don't have to wait and listen to my preamble. Anyway, we'll see you next time for more Evil Genius. Thanks for listening. I hope I've not bored you to death, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.